Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has commenced an investigation into 30 suspected internet fraudsters arrested at Yahoo School, popularly known as Hostel Kingdom in Benin City, Edo State. The suspects were apprehended by operatives of the 4th Brigade Nigerian Army at their hideouts and handed over to the EFCC on Monday, April 28, 2025 for further investigation. According to a statement released on Tuesday by the EFCC's head of media and publicity, Dele Oyewale, the facility bore the full trappings of a conventional computer training school equipped with desktop computers, workstations, and other digital tools. He added that investigators also discovered a separate compartment stocked with various fetish items believed to be used for ritualistic purposes. Oyewale said operatives of the Benin Zonal Directorate of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission commenced investigation of 30 suspected internet fraudsters arrested in the Yahoo training school, otherwise known as HK, in Benin City. Have you heard of that word HK before?
HK, well, I would say that I don't know much about
but you've heard people talk about HK.
Yes,
HK,
yes. I've heard, but as a responsible citizen of Nigeria, I don't want to ask for that to know what it is. It's all about.
Okay.
But I think with some of the relationship I have with some boys, some boys who are into it.
It's not like you have to be into it just to have idea of what it entails. It's actually a hustle kingdom. They said it's a hustle house. I think it's more like some of them rent a particular apartment, enroll some underage adults and what they may, into that hostel kingdom, otherwise known as HK, give them their tools, their operations, whatever they have to use to do their services, these illegal services that they engage in. I want to, should have heard of things like this, please. What do you make of this whole situation?
Like I said, I'm someone that I see myself as being responsible.
Okay.
And so for that reason, I don't ask to know more about all of this, these things. But I think the action of the Nigerian military, do I know that that is not their responsibility, because this is a civil, matter. But I know that before...
It's not their responsibility to arrest them.
It is not their responsibility.
To arrest them?
To arrest them. It is the responsibility of the Nigerian police.
Okay.
Because this is a civil matter.
Okay.
However, I am not in any way against them arresting them, because there may likely be a kind of tip-off, right? Someone somewhere might have given them that information that this is what is going on here, So in order to quickly intervene and arrest that situation, stop that nonsense that has been going on there, they had to go there. And I know that they arrested them. Then after the arrest, they might likely, hand them over to police, which is their core responsibility of, carrying out such a function.
Okay, so they should have been handed to the police and not the EFCC.
EFCC, to the police. But it's still okay, because it has to do with monetary stuff.
Okay.
See, let me tell you, these boys have done more harm than good in the society. I will explain it, in relation to the economy. Right? They have inflated pains to the life of an average Nigerian citizen. Ask me why. Now, do you know that a Yahoo boy is ready to pay 500,000 naira just for him to rent a self-con? A Yahoo boy is ready to pay 2.5 million naira just to rent a one-bedroom apartment because they feel that the money is there. They never hustle for it. Unlike you and I, who is working hard to make a legitimate, money. So when you are spending, you'll be prudent enough to spend it. But in this case, these boys, they believe they can just hit 30 million, 20 million. And in 20 million, you're removing 1 million to rent and accommodation. It will have no impact on you, right? It will have no effect on you because the money is there. So, virtually everything in terms of accommodation, I don't want to relate it to the women aspect and all of that. As a young man, you make some run. But today, I tell you that even the girls are not ready to follow people who are legitimately struggling because they feel you don't have money. I'm telling you out of experience. They feel you don't have money. So, not just that. Now, from what we heard, some fetish things we are recovered, right, from the school whatsoever they call it, fetish things. And let me tell you, do you know that they have a kind of bangle that they wear? This thing I'm telling you is what a young boy who was working as a computer operator, who was actually doing virtually all the work, paperwork that I was doing, then. He's a young boy, a boy of 18 years, was narrating to me, and while he was working there, he was secretly doing this thing, even without the madam knowing that this is what this boy. But I know because the boy was very close to me. So sometimes he would tell me, have you seen this, my friend? Though he hasn't gone deep into it. He will say, have you seen this, my friend that used to come to this place? I say, which of them? Okay, when he comes, I will show you the bangle. Do you know where they took that bangle to before wearing it?
So what does the bangle do for them?
This is for ritual purposes. I don't have to disclose everything here, but I can do it off. I can tell you off camera. Because there is a way I will speak. It will be as if I'm trying to destroy some religious body, some churches. That is why I don't want to go deep into it. Now, some of them, in course of giving you an instruction on how to cash out, they will see that they should either kill pussycats, and they will use the blood, right? They will use the blood. They will keep the blood for like a week. They will keep it for like a week. Then after that, they will use it to beat you, or they will use it to rob you. So the Yahoo is not just the normal Yahoo that they were having then. The Yahoo has gone to the level of even using human being for ritualist purpose. You can attest to the fact that, in fact, there is no month that you won't hear about a missing female or some found when some important organs are chopped off. Those things sometimes are for what? Ritual purposes. And to me, I feel that it is an instruction that maybe the Baba has given to you, because it's not an ordinary thing now. it has gone beyond that. We have what they call Yahoo Plus and all of that. It has gone beyond that. It has to do with,
according to the statement that they made, during their arrest, they recovered most of those, ritualistic tools that they found there. I'm going to speak from experience. It's not, something that I heard or someone told me. I've been to a part of Benin, those states, where I saw this underage. He was, if I may guess right, I think it was about 14 to 16 years. He was actually driving, and the kind of car he was driving, at the time when we were kids, we looked up to our uncles. Our uncles were aspiring to own those cars, and this underage are not up to 20, and they actually have access to those kind of cars. And then the other area of concentration we have to look at is this Yahoo School, to that extent where it has been something that an individual or a particular personality will get it. Before, it used to be a personal thing, a private situation. Then when we hear about the Yahoo this, Yahoo that, the fraud is situation. But the parts where it's now a school where individuals are recruited, trained to become like their boss. It's not just in Edo State. It's just around, because this HK, you hear it in Lagos, you hear it in Rivers, you hear it in
State.
Delta, you hear it in almost parts of the country, almost every part of the country. I just want to get your thoughts on that part where the innocent, the young generation are actually most of the victims in this situation.
Well, the issue is that why it is like that is because of the desperation on the part of the youths, the teenagers.
Why would you be so, at that age, what were we thinking of? Go to school, go to church, run errands for your parents, and have good grades?
And I will say that there is also what I will call as parental failure on the part of some of the parents, right? Parental failure. Now, a little child, a teenager who is not working is bringing something for you, and you as a mother, you as a father, you cannot ask that. How come about this thing? Where did you get this money from? Do you know that even I myself today, that was 4 years ago, there was during the flood, during the flood, and we happens to work with the former chairman of Awota West local government, which happens to be my local government. We worked with him, and so at the end of the day, something came on board, like rice and some other items, and I had to send it to my parents at home. Now, do you know when I called my mom to inquire if she has received it, because I sent it through someone, she said she has received it, but how come about? How did I get this thing money now? So I had to explain. She now said, now, some mothers, some fathers will not even want to ask that this my son, who is bringing this thing, someone who is not working, is bringing a bag of rice to you. Someone who is not working, a teenager, is bringing spider, or beans to you, and you as a mother, you cannot ask that. How come about this thing? How did you manage to get this thing? Who gave you money to get this thing? Rather, they encourage them. Like in the Benin.
You think that encouragement is what is motivating for the growing?
Like in Benin, that you just mentioned. I'm telling you that Benin and Delta State, if you don't have a Benz as a youth, as a teenager in Benin, you are nobody. In fact, your family members will even tell you, what are you doing? Are you not seeing your mates? You know, we have friends. I have friends all over. We discuss. We talked about what is happening in each of these states. So they will even ask you, are you not seeing what your mates are doing? Like, you know, so that alone can motivate those who don't want to, you know, dive into such a nefarious activity to begin to think about it, you know. So I see it as parental failure. Then the rate of moral decadence in our society is something else. Today we now celebrate wealth than human being, than value, right? We celebrate, like even in some families today, if you don't have money, you don't have a voice. You cannot even make an input during any, you know, meeting. You cannot make any decision, and people begin to buy into it because what? You don't have money. So societal, you know, decay is one of the core value. We don't value human being. In fact, we no longer, what we celebrate today is money. Everything is money. Everything, you know, on this planet Earth, in Nigeria, is all about money. If you don't have money, then you are nobody in the society, and nobody will respect you. Nobody will listen to you. So these things have made those youths, you know, to begin to fall into it. You know, do it just to make sure that, you know, they are on top of the world and on top of the game at every point in time. So what I expect.
So what do you think moves them to involving into the extra one where they have to be at the ritual parts, you know, in that instance? What do you think is that the reason, the motivation to involve ritualistic intentions into this? See, it's fraud already. It's an illegal act. So what's that move that make them engage in such?
Very simple answer to that question. See, let me tell you, before now, the white men, the white ladies that they do deceive fall easily. I'm just giving you an answer to the question.
Okay.
They fall so easily to their deceit, you know. But today, those people they are more wiser now. That you go an extra mile before you can break it, right? Now, it also depends on the money that you are going to get at the end of the day. Like the case of the ritual stuff. In fact, if you are able to succeed it, the money you're going to have, the money you are going to have is something else. But in the normal, before you will deceive, you begin to convince a white man that you have this, you have this, you have this, you know, you have this, you have that, you know, to give. It will be very difficult. And let me tell you one thing. It's not even confined to the Yahoo thing. In our society today, let me digress a bit. In our society today, for you to get contract, do you know that some people went as far as putting something in their mouth? I'm telling you, from an experience, for them to talk to you, do you know that they went as far as putting something? Because if they don't do it, they feel that it will not work. So that is how it is. If they don't go this extra mile, they cannot get what they want. And that is why they go as far as, you know, going into ritual purposes in order for them to get money.
What stringent measures do you think the federal government has to take in against situations like this? Like, it's not just arresting them. Yes, you will see that sometimes they're arrested, prosecuted, and all of that. What are the stringent measures that can be used to call what
if the National Assembly can make a law that that can sentence these people into life imprisonment with hard labor. And if the Nigerian police will be fair to themselves and be sincere to themselves without compromising, I think we can get it right. But why I'm saying this is that
so you think like
the Nigerian police today, sorry to say, I'm not trying to generalize it. They are beating them. Because why I'm saying this is that a Yahoo boy can be caught today, and what you see them doing is negotiating. That is what is happening in this country. So if the police, if the security agencies can be sincere, I think we can get it somehow right.
Okay.